ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second round of the Blue Note Cup. First game for the Rockets, as they had a bye the first round. We're here at Queenie Ice Arena, next to Queenie Park. Rockets taking on Kirkwood. It's A3 team, but they have two teams. This is their second team. The first team is ranked first in the division. Rockets are ranked second. Both those teams had a bye coming into the game. So this is the second Kirkwood team. They've played a game already and won to advance to the second round here. The Rockets will play, if they win, tonight at 6:30, I think. So let's get going. The Rockets going to start off with Salmons and Benoit in at defense. I got Alexander, Hellwood, and Giorgio in offense. Hellwood loses the face-off over to Kirkwood. Kirkwood now to Salmons in the neutral zone. He advances it up. Alexander's chasing after it. Now Salmons picks it up, skates behind the net. Sends it over to Giorgio in the neutral zone. He sends it to Hellwig. Now him and Alexander head into the neutral zone. All three forwards ready to go. And they're going to blow the puck dead. Hellwig was on the ice, and not sure why they do the puck dead exactly, but they do so. Oh, looks like it ended up on net. Didn't catch that. Rockets going to continue on. Gross now takes the face off. Now Gross in the corner. Passes it to Ryleman. Wagner sends it down deep. Kaizen was in front of the net. Goes over to play the puck. Looks like Flawless is with him. Good play by Wagner to slow down the Kirkwood team coming into the zone. Now Gross in the corner. He passes it up to his winger, who sends it over to Kai at center ice, who skates in with it. Now Kirkwood makes a center pass and can't connect and sends it to the other side of the ice for icing. Gardner now in on defense. He tries to send it deep, and then McLaughlin loses the puck. Kirkwood's heading back the other way. They send it deep into the zone. Now Gardner in the Rocket zone sends it into the neutral zone of McLaughlin. He can't quite get a hold of it. Now Jansen with it. And then McLaughlin. Kirkwood picks up the puck, and they skate it out of the zone. Now Young gets the puck and sends it back in the neutral zone, where Kirkwood picks it up in their own zone, sends it back in. The Rockets are going to be offsides on that. .12:44 left to play in the first period here. Salmons and Benoit back in on defense with Alexander, Hellwood, and Giorgio. Face off won by Kirkwood. They send it into their zone. Salmons steps up. Alexander able to kick it into the neutral zone. Kirkwood picks it right back up and sends it back in. Now Salmons with the puck. Passes it up to Alexander, who can't quite get a handle on it. Now Gross is in, chases after it. Ooh. Back to Benoit at the point. He sends it back deep into Alexander and Hellwig. Kirkwood right in front of the net, but Rockets can't quite get it to him. Another pass to Hellig at center. He gets a shot, goes wide left. Gross sends it back deep again. Hellig behind the net. That's Gross right in front of the net. And the goal's going to cover with 11:35 left. Come on, boys. Gross now on the face-off with Kai, and Ryleman sent back to Benoit at the point. Benoit loses an edge, falls down. And the Rockets still able, there has to be offsides on the Rockets as they slipped it past the blue line and then tried to send it back in. Now Kai with the puck. Pass to Gross. He's at the top of the circle. Shot goes wide right. Wagner sends it back over to Kai. Kai centers it right to Kirkwood though. Wagner's able to keep it in. He sends it back into the corner where Kirkwood picks it up. Now Kirkwood's able to clear it out to Follis in the neutral zone. Now to Young in the neutral zone. Young sends it back deep. Ends up behind the net. Chasing after it's McLaughlin. Kirkwood makes a pass to the center, and they enter the Rockets zone. Got Gardner and Young, and on defense, saved by Mormon. Now centered pass at the feet of Gardner. Gardner has it tied up though, and then Young comes away with it. Young skates it in. He's got Jansen with it. He makes a pass. Gets cut off by Kirkwood and then sent back the other way for an icing on Kirkwood. 9:43 left in the first period. Face-off, right circle, Kirkwood zone. Hellig on the face-off. Got Alexander, Giorgio, Salmons, and Benoit. Alexander trying to make a pass from his knees after falling down, but can't quite do so. Now Kirkwood heads back the other way. Got a guy in front. Benoit takes one off the skate and slows this momentum down. Shot right in front by Kirkwood and saved by Mormon. And the Rockets able to send it back into the neutral zone. Salmons falls down and sends it into the neutral zone to Alexander. Alexander skates after it, but Kirkwood gets there first. Now Hellig in the neutral zone. He sends it into this Kirkwood zone. Sends it behind the net. Giorgio chases after it. Now Giorgio back to the point to Wagner. Wagner back to Giorgio. Giorgio centers it to Alexander. It gets deflected off to the right at the goal. Now Salmon steps up. Sends it behind the net. Kirkwood picks it up there. Now they enter the zone again and then lose it. Now Kirkwood with the puck. Wagner's able to get it. Now Gross in front of the net. And no, I'm sorry, that's Akins. Giorgio's still in. Wagner able to get there before Kirkwood and send it a little bit deeper. Now Akins behind the goal. Tries to center it. And then sent back to the point where Rockets lose the zone. Follis sends it over to Wagner. Wagner enters the zone. Center pass. Goes to Rauman. Now follows from a point. Goes wide right. Aikens sends it back towards the center of the net. It's intercepted or cut off by Kirkwood, who then goes back into the neutral zone, heads back the other way. Good back check. So Aikens sends it into the zone that goes for a line change. Rauman heads after it. Mackay. Parrish came in. Almost gets a shot. Then Young to Rauman and sends it deep into the zone, and the Rockets go for a line change. Parrish is chasing after him. Gardner and Young on defense. Jansen, Parrish, and Marburger. Shot, and it's stick saved, and then over the top by Norman. And then Kirkwood sends it into the zone, no icing. Loses the zone, sends it into the neutral zone all the way down to their goalie. Gardner holds it, and then it's going to be offsides on the Rockets as Jansen couldn't get back on sides before Gardner had to get rid of it. 6:36 left in the first period. Scores tied, 0-0. Face-off's going to be right at center ice. McLaughlin on the face-off with Gross, and Giorgio this time with Benoit and Salmons on defense. Face-off controlled by Kirkwood. They send it across the boards, but Benoit's right there at the blue line. Sends it back up to Giorgio. Now to McLaughlin, who sends it into the zone. Kirkwood sends it across the ice, and that's going to be icing on Kirkwood. Oh, they wave it. Salmons makes a pass to Giorgio, but just deflects off his skate. Now Giorgio's got it again. He passes it back to Salmons. Salmons takes it in and sends it deep behind the net. Nobody back on defense as Salmons is pinching, so they lose the zone as the puck swings around. Now Giorgio back to Salmons. Now Gross. I think that was Gross actually to Salmons. Salmons goes for a line change as this Benoit. Fallis comes in with Wagner. And he's right there at the blue line to send it back in. And then sent back to him again. He loses it. Now sent back across. The Rockets are able to get back on sides. Now Gross chases after it. Back to the point. Whoa. Shot from Fallis at the point. Although I didn't catch him shooting it. Gets it on net where Kirkwood covers it with 5:17 left in the first period. Off the face-off, Alexander gets a shot, but it gets deflected out in front. Now Wagner tries to skate it in, gets stuck, and that's going to be offsides on the Rockets. Alexander Giorgio Hellwig on the face-off with Gardner and Young at defense. Face-off won by Hellwig. And the Rockets lose the zone. Gardner's chasing after it. Kirkwood's going fast though. Now behind the Rockets net. Now to the side. Alexander comes away with it. Makes a pass to Giorgio. Giorgio has got one guy in front of him, another guy beside him. Young rifles one right from the point from a Giorgio pass. Young again from the point, but Kirkwood did intercept it. And then Giorgio makes a great stick and keeps it in the zone, skates it in. Now Young steps up from the point, rifles one again, goes wide right. Now Gardner from the other side. He steps up, shoots it, goes wide left. Now Giorgio can't quite get it back deep enough. Rockets get back on sides, and then Giorgio sends it into the zone again. He goes for a line change himself. Kirkwood flips it up over into their own board for a face-off here right outside the blue line with 3:51 left in the first period. Actually, it's going all the way back inside the Kirkwood zone here for the faceoff. Salmon's back in with Benoit, Kai. It's like Akins and Ryleman for sure, and yeah, Akins. Salmon's in the neutral zone, sends it across the ice to Ryleman. He sends it in deep. Kirkwood puts it up behind their own net. Now Akins has Kai right in front of the net. Oh, he centers it, and then the Rockets can't quite connect there. Benoit steps up, and then Kirkwood slams it down to the other side of the ice for an icing on Kirkwood. The Rockets go for all 5 guys changing lines to bring in Parrish, Marburger, Jansen, Follis, and Wagner. 3:17 left in the period. Faceoff controlled by Kirkwood. Follis slows the play down just a little bit, and now Jansen intercepts the Kirkwood pass. He heads into the neutral zone, passes it up to Parrish, and then Kirkwood gets a stick on it and sends it back in the neutral zone again. Follis with the hip check into the boards to slow Kirkwood down, and the Rockets ice it to the other side of the ice. 2:36 left in the first period. Kirkwood's had some good quality shots, and I'd say it's been in the Rocket zone, or it's been in the Rockets have had it down deep in the Kirkwood zone most of the time, but Kirkwood's had some better shots. Now Akins comes away with it. He's got Gross. Now it's, calling it offsides. Calling Gross offsides. I thought he drug his toe and had it onside, but that's not what they called. If he would have had that, it would have been a goal. McLaughlin on the face-off. Good save by Mormon again. Great shot. Now Giorgio sends it over to Gross. Gross can't quite get a hold of it. McLaughlin, Gross makes a move. And Kirkwood sends it back in the neutral zone where Young picks it up. He sends it back deep over to Kirkwood. They center it right center of ice. Gardner now has it. Kirkwood from the point sends it in deep. And Gross now control at the blue line, passes it up to Akins. Passes it back to Gross. Gross picks it up. And the Rockets lose it at the blue line. Salmon's there to right at the other blue line to send it to Giorgio. He gains some speed. Skates around. He's going after the net. He's got 4 guys in front of him. 3 guys in front of him now. And here they call tripping on Salmon's. He slammed his stick around the side and got caught up to give Kirkwood a power play. See if I can remember to turn this button on and off. Power play for Kirkwood. 1.5 minutes with 1:02 left in the first period. Herrick on the face-off. Shot goes wide left. Now falls behind the net. He sends it into the neutral zone to Giorgio. Giorgio has a chance at a move. Sends it to the net and it goes wide right. Now Hellwig in the corner. Howard smashed into the boards, and they're going to call roughing on Kirkwood. 58 seconds left in the other power play. So it'll give the Rockets about 30 seconds of power play before 4-on-4 or even strength, and then we'll have about 30 seconds of power play in the next period. Face off from Gross, controlled by Kirkwood. Sent back in the neutral zone. Falls goes over against the boards, but Kirkwood picks it up. Fallis makes a pass to Giorgio, who's now in his zone. He's got two in front of him with Gross. Gross sends one off Giorgio's skate. And now Fallis shoots one wide right. Wagner chases over. And he rips one off the skate of Kirkwood. And that'll end the first period. Score tied up 0-0. Starting off the second period here, 4-on-4 for about 30 seconds, and then the Rockets are going to get a power play. The boarding on Hellwig. Benoit sends it back in the neutral zone to Gross. Kirkwood picks it up though and sends it back in, shoots it on net, and that's going to be saved by Norman. He covers it. 15 seconds now left in the penalty. Gross wins the faceoff, sends it to Benoit, but then gets sent up the boards to Kirkwood. Young chases after it. And shot wide right by Kirkwood. It's going to be, Giorgio couldn't get there quite fast enough. It's going to be icing on the Rockets. But now the Rockets have about 30 seconds of a power play here. Face off one by Kirkwood. Shot goes off with Giorgio's stick. Pass over to Gross. Now Gross skates up through the neutral zone. He's got Giorgio with him. Shot from the circle by Gross to put it in for the Rockets' first goal. That was mean looking. Sent right over the corner. That will end the power play for Kirkwood though, brings back to full strength of 14-12 left here in the second period. Parrish on the faceoff with Marburger, Jansen, Young, and Gardner in on defense. Kirkwood wins the faceoff, but Parrish comes back away with it. He's got two guys in front of him as he enters the neutral zone, or enters into the zone. Shoots, goes up and over, but doesn't drop in the net. Now Kirkwood sends it back the other way. Young with it in the corner. Now Jansen tries to flip it out. Just takes it out himself, flips it over now to Marburger. Now Parrish rips one from the slot. It goes right in the glove, but it's saved by Kirkwood's goalie. And they cover. Parrish on the face-off. Sends it over to Marburger, who sends it back behind the net. Jansen chases after it. Puck flips up, and then Rockets lose his zone. Kirkwood's heading back the other way. Stick by Marburger slows everything down. Now it's Parrish and Marburger heading over. Pass over to Parrish. But too much in front of him. Now Parrish back to Jansen. He gets taken out right there in the left circle. Now Kirkwood's heading back the other way. Salmon's in shot. Salmon's and Benoit on defense. Benoit sends it across the ice now over to McLaughlin. McLaughlin passes it up to Jansen that's behind him. Can't do anything with it. Now McLaughlin comes away with it. Makes a move. He's got 3 guys in front of him though. And loses the puck as most of the offense goes for a line change. Now Kirkwood's heading back the other way. Pushed outside by Benoit. He skates behind the net. All the way. Kirkwood asking for a hook. Salmons is responsible for that if it would have been a call. Now Kai in the corner. McLaughlin at the blue line loses it. Now Kirkwood's heading back the other way. Follis and Salmon's on defense now. Shot goes wide right. Kirkwood centers it. It goes to center. I think it goes off of a stick. And then a shot from it goes off a stick right to Mormon, who covers it. .11:49 left in the second period. Face-off controlled by Kirkwood and then sent back into the neutral zone after a deflection. Giorgio's rushing after it. Alexander now with the puck. Sends it to Hellwig. Hellwig to Alexander. Center pass, but the Rockets weren't there. Kirkwood was. Now Follis from center point. The Rockets have 2 good shots right in front of the net. Deflected both of them. The goalie deflected both of them, I mean. Now Giorgio's here at the top of the right circle, and then Kirkwood gets it into the neutral zone. Follis picks it up now, sends it across the ice. Goes from Ryleman to Alexander, and back check has Alexander lose the puck back into the neutral zone. Now Hellwig intercepts the pass, and now it's Alexander, Hellwig, and Giorgio. Now sent back to Wagner. Now from the circle. Oh my! Giorgio with a shot. Ends up missing it. And then Flawless loses the blue line. Shot from Wagner, going off the goalie and to the right. Now Kirkwood's headed back the other way. call checking on Giorgio. Going to give Kirkwood a power play now with 9:58 left in the second period. They called interference or roughing on Giorgio. Aikens now in on the face-off. Fallis, Gross, and Young. Face-off controlled by Kirkwood, and they get an immediate shot and goal. It didn't take long for Kirkwood to get that one in. 4 seconds into the power play, they get their first goal to tie the game. 9:54 left in the second. Kirkwood ties the game. Now Jansen comes in with Gross and Aikens. Salmons gets the face-off, and Aikens slams it in deep. Kirkwood goes after it. Jansen chasing with Aikens. Jansen passes to Aikens. Aikens' shot gets deflected. Centered by Kirkwood. Now they're heading back the other way. Back check by Gross slows everything down. Now Salmon goes up and sends it back into the neutral zone. Kirkwood recollects it, but Jansen's right there. He makes a pass to Aikens. Now Aikens back to Jansen. 5-goal shot. Then Gross with the shot. And they blow the whistle dead. They're going to call a slash on Kirkwood, I think. Yep, slashing on Kirkwood is going to give the Rockets now a power play. With 9:16 left, Rockets get a power play for a minute and a half here. Hullig wins it back to Fallis. Fallis passes it over to Wagner. Wagner steps out, rips one, and that's covered by the goalie of Kirkwood. Save and covered. Face off now on the left circle here. Face off one back to Fallis, but then lost. Wagner picks it up, waits for her to get back on sides, and sends it back into the zone. Alexander's chasing after it. Kirkwood with the puck though, sends it back to Fallis at center. He sends it in deep. That's offsides on the Rockets. Minute 5 now left in the penalty, or the power play. Face-off sent back into Kirkwood's zone. Alexander chases after it. Now Giorgio back to Wagner. Wagner across. Now to Giorgio again, right in the slot. Shot just deflected out in front. And Kirkwood sends it to the other side for an icing. 8:22 left in the period. 37 seconds left in the power play. Alexander is in. Salmons and Young on defense. Helwig on the face-off with Giorgio and Alexander. And they're going to call a boarding on that. This is going to call roughing on Giorgio. Thought this was 14U hockey, but I guess they're going to be calling everything today. So that's going to bring us back to even strength for 25 seconds, and then Kirkwood will have a minute of a power play. Parrish comes in with Kai, Young, and Salmons on defense. Face off controlled by Kirkwood. But the Rockets come away with it. Now Young skates up through the zone and rips a shot, goes way up left and high. Now Salmons has it on the other side, sends it back in deep. The Rockets playing conservative here since they're on. Well, I'm surprised they didn't call that tripping. Now 1 second. Now Kirkwood is 5-on-4. Salmon slows that down. Salmon tries to get a check there. Now from the point, Kirkwood shoots it on net and saved by Mormon. .46 seconds now for the Rockets to kill as they get a new line with Wagner and Fallis coming in on defense, Gross and Marburger in on offense. Gross on the face-off and controlled by Kirkwood. They send it back to the point, sends it to the winger. Wagner's right there, sends it off the boards into the middle of the ice. No icing. Now Gross with the puck from the Fallis pass. He makes a move, skates around, shot. Now Fallis at the point. Wagner holds the blue line, skates around at Kirkwood players, looking to Marburger at center ice, and loses an edge. And then Kirkwood sends it all the way to the other side of the ice for an icing. Back at full strength now. Scores tied up 1-1, 6:38 left in the second. Young and Gardner in on defense. Parrish, McLaughlin on the face-off. Sends it back. Shot by Gardner. Glove saved by Kirkwood. Rockets leaves the face-off back into the neutral zone. Young makes a move and enters the zone. Now centers it, but Kirkwood's got a stick right there. Now Kirkwood's got Gardner and Young in front of him. Puck kind of bounces weird and Kirkwood gets a shot. And Mormon makes the save. McLaughlin on the face-off. Sent back to Gardner, who sends it, tries to send it to the neutral zone, but Kirkwood holds the blue line and then loses the puck. Now Rowman. Makes a check there. Now back from the point at Kirkwood. They shoot it. Deflected off the skate of Young. Now Rowland back with it. Rowland makes a pass to Young. Young skates it up. And Kirkwood gets a stick on it and slows everything down. And they're heading back the other way. They make a center pass, but McLaughlin intercepts that. Now from the slot, shot. Saved by Mormon. That was a good save. 5:12 left. Kirkwood has somebody sitting right in front of the net. Another good chance for them. Now they send it back into the corner. Now Young picks it up, sends it across the ice, and it hopefully gets on net, and it does. So no icing. Howard battling at the blue line, but loses it to Kirkwood as they head back the other way. And Salmon's enters with Gardner. Centered back to Kirkwood. Salmons was right there. Another shot from the the right side circle. Right. Then Alexander sends it up to Giorgio. But he can't hold it. Now Hellwood. Now back to Giorgio. Back to Salmons. Up to Alexander. Now Benoit steps up with it. Now Giorgio behind the net, skates up to get it to Salmons. It's going to be icing on Kirkwood with 3:55 left in the second period. Hellwood on the face-off with Benoit, Salmons, Giorgio, and Alexander still in. Alexander centers it. Giorgio now back to Benoit. Benoit sends it back up to Alexander, who can't quite get it off for a shot. Kirkwood sends it across the ice again. Benoit is there to pick it up. Now Giorgio comes away with it. Giorgio makes some move. Tries to get a shot. It gets deflected. Salmons now sends it back to Alexander, who tries to make a shot, but it gets deflected out in front. Now both Hellwood. Now back to Alexander. He sends it to Giorgio. Now Hellwood. Centered. I don't think a shot quite got through. Hellwood now with the centers it again. Kirkwood ends up with it, and they're heading back the other way. They've got Salmons and Fallis in front of them. And they send it in deep. Salmons now picks it up, passes it up back to Alexander. He sends it off the boards, but it hits off the ref. Salmons tries to get a check to get skated around, and then a good shot blocked by Mormon. Blocked and covered. 2:30 left in the second period. Aiken's in on the face-off. Marburger. Now Fallis picks it up behind the net. He's looking to get it out of the zone. Passes it up to Kai. Kai now sends it over to Marburger. He can't quite get a hold of it. Rockets send it back into the zone. Now get back on sides, and Fallis is after it. When the Rockets lose control of the puck, Kirkwood sends it back over, but Marburger's there. He sends it back into the zone. No icing. Kirkwood picks it up behind their own net. Kai battling for the puck in the Wagner somehow gets a stick on that and slows everything down. Now Fallis sends it off the boards. And back in the neutral zone, off the referee again. Now Kai's got a chance. He's got two guys in front of him. He shoots it. It goes wide left. Fallis now shot. Deflected off the skate of Kirkwood. Now Kai with a shot. And saved by Kirkwood's goalie and covered. 1:15 left in this second period. Now Gardner and Young in on defense with Parrish, Gross, and Jansen in on offense. Rockets win the face-off. Jansen centers it back to Parrish, and he can't quite get a shot off right in front of the net. Now Parrish comes away with it, sends it to Gross. Past the red line. Ooh, that was offsides on the Rockets. Parrish now on the face-off. Ends up back in Kirkwood's possession. Jansen chases after it, gets a stick on it, but still gets it out of the neutral zone, into the neutral zone. Now Parrish. And they're going to call slash, I guess. That's on Kirkwood, so that's going to give the Rockets a power play. 31 seconds left, so we'll then start the next round, or the next period with the power play. The Rockets bring back in Benoit and Salmons and McLaughlin at center with Akins and Ryleman. Back to Salmons now. And then lost to Kirkwood, where they iced the puck. 24 seconds left in the period.
Go, Kirkwood!
Go, Red!
Face off again, controlled by the Rockets. Salmons tries to send it in. Oh, he's watching. Salmons ruffles one from the point, it gets deflected, and then makes another shot. It goes in deep to the left. Now Benoit tries to hold the line, and that'll end the second period. With 59 seconds left in the power play for the Rockets. When we return. Rockets starting out this third period in a power play, but they're going to need to start getting more shots on net. They're not keeping track of the shots, but I don't know. We've had some really good shots here. Let's keep the momentum going back our way. Keep the momentum in our direction. All standard stuff to win hockey games. Wagner Fall starting out on defense, and that's going to be an icing on Kirkwood. Alexander, Hellwood, Giorgio, Wagner, and Paulson on the play. Face off, controlled by the Rockets back to Wagner. Wagner sends it in deep. Hellwood behind the net. He reverses direction. Tries to pass it to Alexander, who's beside the goal instead of in front of it. And that's going to be another check on Borden. Rockets pull their goalie and send Gross in, but can't do anything to capitalize on that. This will be boarding on Kirkwood or Ruffin. They're going to have two guys now. It's going to be a 3-on-5 for the Rockets. Kirkwood brings in their big guys here for the 3-on-5. It's going to be 26 seconds of 3-on-5, and then another basically minute of power play for the Rockets after that. A 4-on-5 action. Hellwig on the face-off. Oh, and they're going to call it 2-and-10? They called it 2-and-10 on that one. Wow. The Rockets win the face-off. Kirkwood battles back for it though. Now back to Fall to the point. Follows, takes a big whip on it as he steps up. And another penalty called. Actually, no penalty called. 12 seconds left in this 3-on-5 face-off outside the blue line. Giorgio comes away with it. He makes a shot, deflected out in front. Now Wagner sends it back on. Oh man, Giorgio is almost there. Follows, puts his body into it, slows it down, and then sends it back deep into the zone. Kirkwood's there right in front of the net to pick up the puck. They send it back into the neutral zone. It's going to end the 3-on-5. 49 seconds left in the 4-on-5. Helwig picks up the puck. Pass up to Alexander now. He's moving. Passes the blue line. He makes a pass back to Wagner. Wagner's shot. Fallis is right in front of the goal. Now Fallis still in front. Kirkwood picks it up. 23 seconds left in the penalty. Kirkwood able to get it back into the neutral zone. They're going to kill this penalty. 9 seconds left. Icing though. He's going to give the Rockets one more chance of 4-on-5 action down inside the Kirkwood zone. Salmons and Young now in on defense with Parrish on the faceoff with Kai and Marburger. Salmons now sends one through, gets deflected a couple times. Now Marburger sends it back in. Kai battles for it in the corner. Now he's got some help from Marburger. Calling another penalty. Just let him play. I didn't see that one, but Young's going to the box. It's going to give Kirkwood a power play here with 12:30 left in the game. The refs trying to think they control the game here instead of letting the boys play. Face-off won by Kirkwood. From the point shot. Deflected. And almost goes into the goal, then Samus picks it up behind the net. He sends it all the way to the other side of the ice. That's going to get on net, though, for no icing. Good play by Samus. Now Kai, offsides on the Rockets. Gross on the face-off. Salmon's Benoit. Face-off one, back to Salmon. Salmon sends it deep into the zone. Kai's the other offensive guy. Gross into the corner. Now Kirkwood's heading the other direction. Got Salmon's in front of him. Benoit gets his stick lifted, so makes Kirkwood have nothing left on that play. Now Benoit gets it back. He skates up, passes it to Gross. Gross has got 2 Rockets in front of him. He makes a move, gets tripped. They don't call it. Salmons holds the blue line, sends it way and up to the left. Gross holds it in. 33 seconds left in the penalty kill. Now back in the neutral zone to Benoit. He passes it to Kai. Back to Kirkwood, then back to Benoit. Now to Gross. Gross shot. And glove save by Kirkwood. 18 seconds left in the power play. 11:18 left in the third period. Rockets change everyone up, and so does Kirkwood.
The parents.
Aiken's in on the face-off. With McLaughlin. McLaughlin gets a stick on it. Slows Kirkwood down. Another stick by Aiken slows him down. And McLaughlin's got him. Fallis in front with Wagner. Shot from the point. And glove saved by Norman. That's going to end the power play. And going to bring us back to 5-on-5. 10:56 left. Face off. Controlled by the Rockets. Ends up on net. Now Jansen in the corner. Now Kirkwood's over the way. Fallis was right there though, sends it back into the neutral zone. Kirkwood gets back on sides, makes a move. Now Fallis has it again. Fallis makes a pass to Rowman. Rowman to Aikens. Can't quite get it out of the zone. And now McLaughlin with it. He shoots one. Ooh, that was close. Now Giorgio enters in. Takes one off his foot. Sends it back to Young at the point. Young sends it across the ice. Fallis chases after it with Rowman. And then Kirkwood threw it to the other side of the ice. There will be no icing on this though. It's picked up and sent back to Giorgio. Giorgio's got 3 Kirkwood stars in front of him. He moves past 2 of them. And then Kirkwood gets a stick on it. Now Giorgio again from the corner. He's got Hellig right in front. He makes a pass and Hellig can't get a stick on it. Kirkwood sends it across the ice and it's going to be on net, so no icing. And Mormon picks it up. It'll be a face-off inside the Rockets zone with 9:13 left in the third period. Alexander now on the ice with Hellig, Giorgio, Young, and Gardner. Face-off sent back into the neutral zone by the Rockets. Giorgio's chasing after it. He gets it, centers it, and then Alexander's right there to tap it in from Giorgio's pass. That was a sweet play performed there done by the Rockets to bring them up 2-1 with 9:03 left in the game. Giorgio and Alexander with a fist bump there. Salmons and Benoit enter back in on defense. They keep the same offensive line out there. Alexander, Giorgio, and Hellig. Hellig now at center for the faceoff. Rockets lose the faceoff. Kirkwood picks it up. Now Giorgio picks it up. He's skating fast. He's got 3 guys in front of him. He makes a move. Beats one of them. Again, he centers it. Alexander was right there in the crease. Benoit sends it back to Giorgio again. Helwig's now right there in the center. And Kirkwood comes away with it and skates it through into the neutral zone. Couple shots, opportunities by Kirkwood. The Rockets were able to keep from letting get through. A combination of defense and Mormon making some saves. Now the ref's in the way again, and the Rockets send it into the neutral zone all the way across the ice for icing. 7:55 left in the third period. Rockets bring in Fallis and Wagner, Parrish, Marburger, and Gross. Shot goes off the skate. I think of a Kirkwood player, actually. Now Parrish picks it up. He sends it back to Fallis. Fallis passes it up to Marburger. Marburger across the ice to Gross. Now Gross has got two guys in front of him. Parrish catching up with him now. He makes a move, gets tripped, and they call a trip. Although they called I think they called a slash, not a trip. And they're slashing on Kirkwood to give the Rockets a power play now with 7:29 left in the period. Face off Parrish to Gross. Gross shoots it off the leg pad of the goalie. Now Gross chasing after. Kirkwood reverses direction now behind their own net. They pass it up to the blue line and then are able to clear. Oh, they don't clear the zone. Gross is right there. Gross centers it to Parrish, but Parrish can't quite get there in time. Now Marburger. Kirkwood slows it up and heads back the other way. And they call a penalty on the Rockets.
Go, Kirkwood!
It's going to be on Fallis. All he did was hip check the player, and they call a penalty. They're acting like this isn't 14U hockey.
Can you move it?
Gross with the face off. Now Kai skates up. Skates. Oh! And that's going to be a penalty on Kirkwood for boarding. Kai's up okay though. It looks like he did hit his head. Roughing on Kirkwood. Rockets now back in 3-on-4. Oh no. Yeah, 3-on-4. Gross now taking the face off Salmons and Benoit on defense. Face off back to Salmons. Salmons back to Gross. Gross skates up. He's got, had Aikens right in front of the net. Aikens now back to Benoit. Benoit back over to Salmons. Salmons skates up, deflected. Out in front. Now Gross sends it back to Salmons. Salmons over to Benoit. Benoit shoots. And it's deflected out in front, and the Rockets can't get there. Now Salmons steps up middle of the ice. Shot goes off the post, I think. Now back to Benoit. Benoit shoots one off of the goalie's pad and stick. And now Kirkwood's able to clear it to the other side of the ice. So we're at 4-on-4 now. Four-on-4 for 32 seconds. Kirkwood sends it the other direction. Wagner's chasing after it. Now Aikens sends it into the neutral zone, but Kirkwood's there to receive the pass. Norman steps out, gives it to Wagner. Wagner now Aikens. Aikens to Gross. Gross has got two guys in front of him again. He's going to make a shot here from the point, or from the circle. It's deflected out in front. Centered by Gross, but can't get through. Now Kirkwood, right in the slot. Gross steps up. Kirkwood shot from the point. Rockets trying to clear it out of the zone, and then Norman's going to cover that one and fall on it for a face-off inside the Rockets zone. 4:54 left in this third period. Back to even strength for both teams. 5-on-5 hockey here. Face off controlled by the Rockets. They send it into the neutral zone. Kirkwood's chasing after it. They get there. Kirkwood sends it back into the zone. Salmon's there, intercepts the pass back to them. Now Salmon's is skating up. Dumps it in. Now Kirkwood gets the puck and heads back the other way. They send it in deep as Gardner picks it up behind the net. And then ends up back in Norman's hands for a cover. Looks like there's some words between the two teams. 3:59 left in the game. Face off right circle. Hellwig now with the face off. Shot. Bounces off Giorgio's skates. Now up in the air. And Mormon steps up and covers. Young and Gardner in on defense. Alexander, Giorgio, and Hellwig in on offense. Hellwig skates behind, picks it up, changes directions. Passes it over to Young. Young now to Giorgio. Giorgio's got two guys in front of him and Alexander. He passes to Alexander. Alexander slows everything down, sends it back to Giorgio, but Kirkwood picks it up. Now Hellwig holds him in. He makes a pass. Deflected, now shot. Shot by Alexander, and it's covered by the goalie. Almost 5-holding, but didn't quite get there in time. Good save by Kirkwood's goalie. Now Hellwig on the face-off, sends it back into the corner. Kirkwood sends it up the boards, but it's blocked by Alexander. Now Alexander centers it, but nobody's home. And Giorgio sends it in deep. To Alexander, then to Hellwig. Now back to Paulus at the point. He shoots one and pulls off the Kirkwood player right in the chest. And hit him hard. He fell down. He's getting off the ice now. It's like he might have hit his leg because he's limping off. Wagner steps up, holds the blue line. Now Alexander has it. Shot goes right between the guy in front of him and then off the goalie. Kirkwood's heading back the other way now. Got Paulus and Gardner and Wagner in front. Now Paulus with some speed. He dumps it into the zone. Good play by Paulus. The Rockets chase after. Giorgio's there first. Alexander was right in front of the net. Couldn't get it. Giorgio was trying to get it to him and couldn't. Now Kirkwood sends it the other way where Wagner picks it up. And back into the neutral zone. 2 minutes left in the game. And puck goes all the way to their side for icing on the Rockets. It's going to be a timeout, it looks like, on Kirkwood. 1:49 left in the period. Kirkwood's going to take a timeout here. Timeout's over now. Rockets are ready to go. A minute and 49 seconds left in the game. Salmons, Rose, Hellwood, Benoit, and Giorgio looks like are in for the Rockets. And they've Kirkwood's pulled their goalie. It's going to be 6-on-5 here for a minute 49 until the Rockets get it back in the other end of the ice. Looks like refs are discussing the 2 and 10 that was called. Kirkwood still has a guy in the penalty box, although there's no power play. Face off, won by Hellwood. Benoit sends it off the boards. It's back to the point. Shot.
Good job. Keep
And covered by saved, covered by Norman.
Hold on there.
Now Benoit replaced by Young. Helwig on the face-off again. Akins tried to get it out.
That away. Handle.
Oh, that's Akins, not Giorgio, I guess. Now from this other side, shot. Saved by Mormon, great save, and now that sends the puck to the other side of the ice. Minute 19 left, Kirkwood picks up the puck, sends it back to the blue line. Young's there, he's going to rifle it all the way back to the other side. It deflects off with a stick, and now Giorgio's after it. And they're going to call a penalty on the Rockets. Cross-checking, he didn't barely even touch him. Giorgio didn't need to do that, but also I'm not sure that was really a penalty. Maybe I don't know the rules that well. Now it's going to be a 6-on-4. Kirkwood pulls the goalie. Helwig on the face-off. Across the ice now, shot. Wallace gets it out and into the neutral zone. 50 seconds left in the game. Kirkwood resets and goes right back after it. And back into the neutral zone again. Good. Offsides. I thought they were going to call a penalty on Gross for a second for that body check. 39 seconds left in the game. The Rockets must hold on here to continue in the tournament. Gross off the face-off, sends it into the neutral zone, across the boards. Now Akins tries to line one up for an open net, can't get it through. And now back the other way, Kirkwood's got Salmons in front of him. Salmons gets it into the neutral zone. Now Kirkwood resets and goes back in. Young gets it back to the neutral zone. Now Gross flips one. And it goes on net for a goal by Gross. For the Rockets. Oh, that was right at the end of the game as well. The Rockets have come away with the win. I'm going to give that goal to him. Rockets with a hard-fought win. They'll be back tonight at 6:30 against either the other Rockets team or the St. Peter's team. They're going to play here right after us. So you can catch that on Liveline if you want to see the action. I will not be filming that one. Good game by both teams. The Rockets able to come away with this one. We'll see you tonight.